All right, y'all. So I'm back in Naples, and I want to do a quick video on this back part of my property. I had made a video about it in the wintertime, and I made a lot of progress on that project because we had a fire not long after I made that video, and I had originally intended this to just be a little chill project where I just cut a path in the woods and just have a little place to hang and take my dog out, so that we can hang in nature and enjoy the trees. And the fire was very close to us, maybe like 10 minutes away, and it was pretty gnarly. It was on, like a major road, so it was there. The aftermath is there for all to see. So it hit close to home, and I got a little paranoid and took a few days, like after work, and just came out here and slashed away. Something possessed me. I felt like I had all this energy. It was really cool because I kind of don't really find like the energy or time to put towards projects like these that are kind of like long-term projects. So it's really, really cool. But since the fire, I've stopped. I felt like I had put enough of a fire break in here. So that was the whole goal of this project. So what turned out to be just a chill project for me ended up being a more practical project for our house, because the most likely place for a fire to enter would be from there, where it's all overgrown brush. And so, and our house is over here, so there's a fire break from there to the house. There's a big gap here where all the fuel that would climb up trees and make fires spread, they're all put down to the ground, and it's an overall healthier, much more fire resilient landscape, but also a much healthier landscape in general now because of that. And nature has responded since I've done that big intervention. So what I was saying was that nature responded in a cool way after I did this pruning. It was like she just took a deep breath, like, wow. Like I freed her of all the excess junk that was all around. And a lot of cool species are coming up from that. So let's do a little run through to see everything that's coming up. Of course, the muscadine grapes are coming up as a primary sort of ground cover. What ends up happening a lot with the muscadine grapes is that they climb up everything, and then they start to get too woody, and then that's when they become a very, very just a hassle. But right now, when they're very young and tender, it's very easy to manage them. Right now, this is the perfect sort of like spring growth muscadine grape, like perfect for deer, perfect for rabbit, perfect for all the little herbivores that like to nibble on this kind of stuff. And they're very easy to manage. I can, come in here and just rip them off, or with my machete, which is what I will do. Keep them at bay, because the muscadine grapes could be very, very, very tricky. The lizards also have been really loving this clearing now. Something that I was going to mention, I was hoping for a lizard to come up and you could see it. This is perfect, because I was going to mention this. They're really loving the sunspots that come in from this clearing now. It makes it easier for them to hunt. And now that everything is brought down to the ground, there's a lot more surfaces and like textures for them to get higher ground and hunt. And it's super interesting and fun to watch them. I put my hammock up sometimes, and I would just like sit and watch them. What they really like to do, I'll do it from this angle. So especially right now, like when the sun's coming from the west right here, and there's like sun rays that come in, and they beat down like on the trunks of these trees. right here, these eolificaceae. So there'll be like a sun ray just right here, a little strip. And then you'll see like a lizard and you'll see like 5 or 6 of them on all the trees. And they all just like go to their sun ray and just, oh, they just like love that sun ray. And then they have a higher vantage point right there to see what, little insects they want to eat. So, for not just vegetation, but the animals too, even the small ones. And it's like a chain, So the vegetation does better. The lizards do better, which means there's more insects because the lizards are eating more, which means there's more birds. Oh, there's a bird that just passed by. There's more small birds, which eat the lizards, and snakes, which eats the lizards, and then, which means there's more, top predators, like the swallowtail kite, which I've seen them swoop around in here now. So everyone, including me, including humans, my dog, and every all biological life really responded well to this management of this patch. So we have a lot more smilax coming up, which again can get really out of hand. But when you keep up on things and manage them, they're just really not a big deal. A lot of the myrcene is coming up as well. A lot of this was covered in myrcene, like I said over there. I'm not sure if I said it, but this is all myrcene, super overgrown myrcene. And myrcene is definitely a plant that likes to get cut back a lot, and you can see just it coming up everywhere, here and even here. Different styles of different heights. Some of them are just coming up from the ground. Some of them I just chopped up here to utilize the structure already. So the myrcene is gonna create a really cool understory. It can tolerate shade, so it's gonna be really, really nice sort of sea of myrcene. At least so I hope. And I'll tailor it to that. That's the beauty with managing your landscapes, because you can pick and choose what species you want and what species you don't want. So another thing that started coming up was more American beautyberry. Super beautiful. Already starting to push flower as well. Whoops. Yeah, you get the point. Let me go see. There's another beautyberry over here. Try to do it species by species so I don't just confuse myself and go all over the place. So another beautyberry, and these beautyberries can get big if you manage them correctly. They can become nice, big, robust shrubs, that come back year after year. You snip them down. What oftentimes I see with these beautyberries is that they come, their job is to pioneer land or to take up, after a disturbance like this, to shoot up their nice new greens. Oftentimes what I see when people clear their lots or whatever, some beautyberries come up, they just get their zero-turn lawnmower, and the beautyberries never really get a chance to establish. They're trying, but they never really do. A lot of poison ivy is the reality as well. So I'll always make sure I have at least little shoes on, but there was a lot of Brazilian pepper as well. A lot of Brazilian pepper, and a lot of that is coming back. And as a syntropic sort of mindset person, an agroforester, I definitely don't mind the Brazilian pepper. In fact, I love its presence here. It's definitely a big headache for a lot of people in South Florida and in other parts of the world. And I understand that it is a huge headache, but as someone who is outside all the time and managing landscapes pretty much all the time, I see Brazilian pepper as a huge resource. Just look at this amazing growth that it's putting on. Look at that photosynthesis. That's a lot in just a couple of weeks. Coming up from this stump that I had cut this is just amazing chop and drop material for the native plants that are coming up. You know, we could restore native habitat through the usage of invasives. I'm a big proponent of not demonizing invasives, not glorifying them. Also, like, they are just tools in Mother Nature's toolkit. She's just using them to her advantage because we have utterly altered and pretty much destroyed South Florida's hydrology and landscapes through our canal making and development and all this. Like, her only defense is to stabilize the soil and to and to regenerate land is through species like earleaf acacia and Brazilian pepper. So hard to blame her. Yeah, there's very annoying plants, but they're very useful as well. It just depends on how you view them and if you're actually out here managing the landscapes. Most people aren't. So that's why they're annoying, because you want plants that don't come back every time you cut it. Most people don't, but agroforesters do. So a lot of Brazilian pepper coming back, but you know, beautiful, vigorous growth. I'll probably chop that back once it starts flowering, and it'll be such an abundant source of biomass. Another cool plant that I saw come up is well, I guess I'll just do the oaks. A lot of the oaks are coming up. I tried my hardest to not like chop back the little baby oaks, but I still did a lot of them, and it was probably for the better. I'm starting to see that things really don't grow that well when they get congested. So a lot of these oaks were just growing super long and lanky and just not great. So here we see an oak that I had cut back at about head height right here, and look at the way it's reshooting its growth. It was long and lanky and not looking all that great, but now it's just verdant and beautiful and green, just because I, you know, pruned it back. And now it's going to be growing under the conditions that it actually likes, and not in a very deeply shaded environment. And there's a lot of other little oaks like that are coming up. Again, the myrcines are all coming up. I can't wait to see how these myrcines look once the rains start. Another plant that's coming up is this. I'm pretty sure, I did a little research, and I'm pretty sure this is they call it saltbush or sea myrtle. Nah, yeah, I think one of the common names is saltbush. It's like Baccharis halimifolia or something. I forget, something like that. So it's a cool looking shrub that flowers profusely from what I've seen, and I had no idea it was here, but it is, and it's coming up in more than one place. I remember seeing another one, but maybe I lost it. I'm sure I'll find another one. But let's see what else. Oh yeah, here's the other saltbush. It's very beautiful right here. Nice, got a little cloud coverage. It was good I got a little bit of the sun, because it was nice to see the sort of effect of the dappled sun in here, because that's the environment I really wanted to create in here. So another beautiful one is the lantana. They're flowering right now, and you can see just how green and healthy they are. Again, this was another one that was just, you know, senescent. They were growing in amongst all these other things, and now I pruned everything back, and everything's just getting this fresh start, you know, fresh new start. Got another one over here. This one hasn't started flowering yet, but lush and green. Smells really good. Another one is I'm not sure the common name. I saw it said Florida trema. It really reminded me of Trema macrantha, and I researched it, and it ended up, this is Tremor apparently. I think in Honduras they call it capulin, other places other things, and another sort of pioneer type species. Beautiful tree, so I'm very excited about this one. And again, this one was all long and lanky and wimpy, and I just pruned it back, and then pruned the system back, and now it's responding very well. There's another one here, you know, a little baby one, so hopefully those drop seeds and start propagating by themselves. And yeah, it's a very nice spot here. I kind of just wanted to show some of the species that are coming up. I have a lot more to say about just what I want to do with this backspace in general. But maybe I'll get to working on that. It's a little seasonal pond project that I have in mind. Maybe I'll get to working on that and then make another video so that there's actually things to show. But for the most part, I just wanted to show the clearing. I really wish the sun was out right now so that you can see the effect of the glade, or in Portuguese call it gladeira, which is like a clearing in the forest, a glade. It's a very abundant type of landscape because it has the best of both worlds: trees overhead, but also enough sunlight inside, so you can grow things that like sun, but also you're not in an exposed field where too much sun, too much wind can harm plants. Another thing we have is these, I don't know what these are, because I thought that this was saw palmettos, but they're not. I don't think, because there's no saws on them. So they might be the silver palm, the native. There's another native palm that sort of looks like saw palmetto that isn't. I really thought this was saw palmetto up until now. I mean, it has a little bit of the sawing, but not as dramatic as I've seen them in other places. So maybe I can get some, here's some saw. Maybe there is just saw palmetto, just a younger leaf. Either way, it's flowering. Beautiful, super beautiful flowers. And that's it. Oh no, there was actually one more thing that I want to show. That was a really cool tree. This one was like a little baby, looking horrible, not doing anything. It was like this small when I first started the chopping and dropping, and now it's grown all this, and I'm not quite sure what it is. So maybe someone out there can help me ID it. It had like really just like leaves like it looked like it was gonna die, but now after that prune, it just came back up. I have no idea what it is. Sort of looks like it's in the laurel family. Like it could be some sort of Persea, but I have no idea. This is the other thing I wanted to show, and this is, I'm not sure either, but I did some research, and it might be what's called swamp bay, Persea palustris or something like that, but I really don't know. Really cool, sort of just bark on it. All these nodes look super cool. The way it's growing, super cool. It had to like make way because that cabbage palm was full of vines. It was crazy how much I had to pull down. But yeah, it's a really cool looking species. Starting to lose a little bit of light, so I'll cut this video. But if anyone can help me ID this, that would be awesome. Really beautiful. And this is another tree that was looking not so great, not a lot of new growth on it or anything, and then I pruned it back a little bit and it's all coming back. So I might give this a reset, you know, hit it with the chainsaw somewhere here so that it opens up canopy there. But anyways, that's it. Interacting with Mother Nature and opening this clearing up so that we all can benefit, you know, animals, humans, plants, everyone benefits from us humans interacting with the landscape in a positive way. One of my favorite agroforesters from Brazil, Antonio Gomes, he says that Mother Nature, when you see nature super accumulated and dense like this, it's like nature's way of inviting you to go in there and interact with her, and make it have a positive interaction in there. And I like that. A lot of people see this as just like a jumbled mess of vegetation, but for us agroforesters, it just means just like a world of possibilities in there. You never know what you can find in there, and it's up to us to get in there, do some work, and organize the system, and be pleasantly surprised with everything that comes back. So that's it. Hopefully I'll get some more work done back here before it starts raining too intensely. But leave that for now.